Alright, folks, Guy Ritchie's latest project, Wrath of Man, has released. Time for my review. Let's go. Alright, folks, so the film is split up in four chapters, distinct sections. If you've seen the film or you will see the film, you'll know what I'm talking about. And I think I'm going to break it up like that just for, some ease. Because I really think my thoughts are sort of structured that way anyway, in terms of complaints / things I like. So let's get into it. All right, firstly, you have chapter 1. I'll probably spoil things. I don't want to, if you haven't seen the film yet, come back, watch the film, go watch it, come back, check out the review. It is worth a watch. And I'll probably spoil things. But anyway, chapter 1, folks, is entirely gripping, okay? The entire time, except there's one thing. The title sequence, right? The little title card is a little bit cringe. It feels like it's trying to be Bond maybe or something like that. And it looks pretty bad. But everything else in chapter 1 is excellent. It's really Jason Statham getting taken through the ropes of the operation. It's edited cleanly. There's a few one-take shots, which I really like. Jason Statham has that typical Jason Statham-esque, personality, really, and how that plays off with everyone else getting to know him. Some start to think he's a bit of a crazy guy, and it's great. I mean, chapter 1 is really an excellent chapter. I think it's maybe the longest of them all, and I loved it. It's a great introduction. I think it's worth mentioning this here as well that people have mentioned that Guy Ritchie's style is absent here. The style he's typically associated with. You see it in The Gentleman, you see it in Snatch. I personally, they're definitely right. They're not wrong, but I don't think that you judge a film based off of a director's style is there. You may have that impression going in, but I think there is still a distinct style to this film. Like, it's not that it's just some people call it an average action film, in the sense that maybe I would agree with that, in the sense that any film is an average action film. It's a simple plot relatively, but there's enough flair here to make it its own distinct product, to make it stand out among other films, among other action films. So yeah, Guy Ritchie's flair is gone, but I think it's made up for with another style. And I don't think Guy Ritchie's flair would even work here particularly. Then you move into chapter 2, which has got to be my least favorite, to be honest with you. And I think, so chapter 1, again, is all that set up. It's really the longest. And then chapter 2 and 3, they loop back. They explain the backstory of everything. And so chapter 2 feels less necessary than chapter 3, because chapter 3 really gives you a reveal that you've sort of been waiting for. A bit of an actual backbone to the story, whereas chapter 2 is less that and more just a showcase of who this character is. So it is sort of a reveal, but it's less interesting reveal, right? Like, because I don't care as much about what our main guy is. I want to know, his goal, right? I want to know who he's after, all that stuff. So chapter 2 is really less interesting, as well as the tone. There's really a tonal shift within this film. Some parts are incredibly dark, whereas some are really lighthearted. There's quite a few jokes in this film, and I think chapter 2 really has all the dark stuff in it, and it didn't sit well with me. If that were what the film were going for, I'd have no problem with it, but it seems like it's just thrown in for the sake of it. Chapter 3 is also I'm not a major fan of, because again, it is sort of the backstory. It's nice, it is a nice watch. Again, it does have sort of a visual flair to it, but this chapter is pretty much all backstory. A reveal, right? It doesn't do much plot-wise. Chapter 4, folks, though, is worth the ticket by itself. It is brutal. It is tense. It's awesome. It's awesome. It's awesome. It's incredible. It's the heist. A heist goes out. The whole sequence just revolves around one death. Like, the whole plan just coming into motion, and every character that we've met in the film getting, well, not every, but most characters that we met in the film getting involved. And I don't want to spoil it for you if you haven't seen it, because I do want you to go see it, just even for this final scene. If I ever watch this film again, I might just skip here, because this is absolutely incredible. And the more I've thought about the film, I think this really kept a nice taste in my mouth, because the more I thought about the film, the more I like it, folks, because of this scene. I think, it really is just such a great action scene, and a great climax to Wrath of Man. There are only a few things I consider bad within this one. Again, the title card, the tonal difference, and then, sort of the backstory, the chapter 2 and 3, they don't feel very necessary. They feel pretty inconsequential, but that's it. And I don't think that's a lot. I think that's relatively little for a film to complain about. I am going to give this film an A. I had a blast with it. I had a great time. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say other than that. Again, chapter 4 and 1 were just really excellent filmmaking in general, as well as great action. I mean, I had a blast. I really did. If you saw my recent, I'll put it up there if you want to check it out. I predicted the scores that I would give films. I predicted a B for this film. So again, I'm 0 for 1 there. If you want to check that out and then follow along with other reviews, I think that video is from May through July, and see what else I'm getting right. You know, I actually saw a few. I think the embargo lifted on Spiral, the next Saw movie, which comes out next week. And I predicted a not so good score for that. Again, if you want to see that, that's up there. But apparently it's getting good reviews, so I could be 0 for 2 by next week. Anyway, folks, I think that's it. Go watch Wrath of Man if you haven't seen it. If you have, let me know your thoughts down below. I'd love to see them. This one's pretty polarizing, I've seen, actually. I've been EDPC Reviews. You have been amazing as always, folks. I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.